Okay, this is for Mikey D. So getting faster is a combination, you could argue, of two things, right? Force production and running technique. So how much force that your body can create, assuming that you could translate that effectively, and maybe that kind of plays into your technique of translating that into motion. And this is an oversimplification, so just bear with me. So what you said, high intensity training, high intensity whatever, isn't really going to improve your speed. I mean, it may help you burn calories, which might make you lighter, which if you're lighter with the same strength, that might make you a little faster. But if you're going to if you want to improve your speed and actually feel that, you want to, right? You're asking how long will it take to get results from high intensity training? Long. It's going to be long because it's a slow way. It's an ineffective way to run faster, or at least to feel faster, right? Because like someone like myself, I want instant results, right? So the question is, what are some effortless ways to feel like you're getting tremendous results from a little bit of action or energy? The first thing that you should do counterintuitively is learn how to breathe effectively. You want to search how to breathe by Dr. Vranich. It's a TED Talk. That's VRANICH. And the reason why this is so important is because if you understand how to breathe, it'll allow you to train, it'll allow you to improve your endurance and stamina on the field. That's part one. Part two is, while you're training to improve speed, it's gonna allow you to train and play more effectively. So on the field, you're gonna be less tired. It's also gonna help you make better decisions since you're gonna be more relaxed, since you can recover faster. And when you're off the field training to play better on the field, it's going to elevate your training because you're going to be able to recover faster, because you're going to be able to use less energy breathing ineffectively, and she's going to show you how to use less energy and just be breathing in a more relaxed way. That's step one. Step two, you could attack this in a couple different ways. You want to search how to make an RMT rope. And the reason you want to do this is because using an RMT rope is gonna allow you to be more explosive on the field. It's gonna improve your balance, it's gonna improve your timing, it's gonna improve your rhythm. I call it a soccer gym. Cost $10 to make an RMT rope. So the cost of an RMT rope, that's like having a soccer gym for the rest of your life that you can bring everywhere you are. And you want to search David Weck, WECK, for more info. I just noticed that every part of my game improved when I started using one, especially when I learned the alternating underhand sneak. So, after you're watching this video, I would go to your local hardware store and get a length of soft rope. You want a rope that's longer than you are tall, ideally softer so it doesn't chew up your hands, and then you just tie 2 knots on the end of the rope, and just by swinging it in a rhythmic fashion to the left and to the right of your body, then you're going to start to feel the power, and until you feel it, you can't appreciate it. But I promise you, if you start using the RMT rope, it's going to help you improve your speed, and everything is just going to improve about your game. I promise you. So definitely check that out. Another thing you might want to keep in mind is investing in minimalist shoes. And the reason why investing in minimalist shoes is so important is because you spend a majority of time in two places, your bed and your shoes. And since beds are kind of harder to replace, shoes are a great place to start because each step you take can either make you stronger or weaker, right? I have here these glur-ups. They don't build them as minimalist shoes, but that's what they are, and they're the only pair of shoes I own, and they allow, right, minimalist shoes allow your feet to do what your feet are supposed to do, where your feet are shock absorbers, and they expand every time they take a step. If you look at your feet when you take a step, you'll notice that they expand out slightly. So anytime you have shoes that constrict the feet or have thick soles that don't allow full range of motion in your ankle and Achilles, that's making you a worse player. And you could say, oh, well, how much does it matter? And it's like, well, how many steps do you take in an average day? And when you're training, are you wearing shoes that are going to hurt your training or are going to make your training better? And since your feet are the first contact point on earth, it actually makes a huge difference what shoes you wear. The first time I wore minimalist shoes, I went for a 10-minute jog, and the next day my calves were so sore that I could hardly walk. And what that helped me realize is that a small change, like wearing different shoes, can really make your ankles and feet and Achilles and toes stronger, which can lead to effortless improvements in strength and speed. So that's something I wouldn't take that lightly. You also might want to check out the book. It's called Underground Secrets to Running Faster by Barry Ross. And he talks about training this high school girl. He trained this high school girl. She's the fastest high school sprinter of all time, I believe. Her name is, I think, Allison Felix. And he trained her using a combination of just deadlifts and an abdominal exercise called the torture twist, and I think maybe some plyometrics. But you want to check out the exercise, the torture twist. There's multiple variations. You want to learn them all so that you can do them if you're at the gym, if you're at school, if you're at practice, right? As long as you understand the fundamentals of that ab exercise, you could do it everywhere. And that's isometric. That's a static. You're holding your core while you're also twisting. So it's I guess you could call it static overcome by dynamic, in a sense, by dynamic movement. So search that, how to do the torture twist. That's super important. Next, you could check out search Jumping from the Knees by Louis Simmons. This is going to show you how to become more explosive in untraditional starting positions, right? Jumping from the knees helps you become extremely explosive. And if you've never done the motion before, jumping from your knees without any weights in your hand is a great place to start. Louis Simmons says 20 jumps twice a week for beginners, and then maybe advanced athletes, 40 jumps a week, I believe. But just watch the video and you'll get a better understanding of how to use even just rocks in your backyard, or maybe some dumbbells or whatever you have around the house, gallon of milk filled with sand or a gallon of milk filled with water. Just whatever tools can help you become a more explosive player. And those are great places to start, right? Let's review. You have How to Breathe, the TED Talk by Dr. Vranich. You have How to Make an RMT Rope by David Weck, followed by the Alternating Underhand Sneak. You have Underground Secrets to Running Faster by Barry Ross, especially the torture twist, abdominal exercise, all the variations. And then you have Jumping from the Knees by Louis Simmons. And then also checking out a pair of minimalist shoes. My current favorite is Glur-Ups, but there's also ZeroShoes.com or Vibrams. There's a lot. So the last book, check out 7 Postures by Kador Zayani. This guy, he's 49 years old. He's probably one of the most athletic 49-year-olds on the planet who doesn't only talk the talk but walks the walk. You could see him, he's still dunking on a 10-foot rim with a basketball. So, and search that book, 7 Postures. It's $30, but it's worth 10 times more than that. Or just check out all his YouTube videos. He's got hundreds of videos online that you could glean some information. And those videos and his book have changed my life. And that's another great place to start to develop a better awareness of your toes and your feet. The title of the book is 7 Postures, Unlocking Your Athletic Potential. So I think that's also very relevant, that can really help you. So whatever resonates with you out of all those options, take immediate action, test it. If it works, use it. If it doesn't work, try something else, and reach out with any questions. All right, thank you.